Nick, you've been looking at the international press, and The Independent is leading with an exclusive this morning.
I'm going to start out with The Independent in the UK, Cyril, and what we've got is an exclusive from them, as you said, about Syria. Now, it's headlining that an international coalition could offer air and sea support as well as military training to Syrian rebels fighting Bashar al-Assad. Now, you can see that front page. The paper in its editorial says the momentum now for intervention in Syria is growing day by day, but watch out that we're not taking into account the possible adverse consequences. Are they being spelt out enough? In that editorial, The Independent is saying, well, events now have parallels with the events that we saw in the run-up to Iraq all those years ago, and that misguided war was costly. Is it being forgotten too soon, it's asking. So are we at a tipping point here in the crisis with Syria?
Now, we've been covering the Mali situation extensively in the news, and you went digging in the press for traces of Mali coverage.
Well, yeah, from The Independent in the UK to l'Indépendant in Mali. Obviously, in the press, there's no analysis as yet of events there in Bamako. What we're seeing, though, in the press in Mali itself is that there has been extensive reporting on tensions between the two men. The Prime Minister there has been arrested. He was on his way to the airport, planning to go to the airport, but his luggage was taken off the plane. He decided not to go to the airport in the end, and that's all to do with Captain Sanogo, who, in the press piece there from l'Indépendant, the tensions between the two men dating for weeks, because basically Captain Sanogo brought in or wanted Diarra to sort of be in place as Prime Minister for his reputation, his international renown as an astrophysicist and so on, but it hasn't worked out like that. What happened was Diarra eventually started taking a distance from the troops. So the analysis there is that the two men have been at odds for weeks, and what we're seeing playing out now, live, if you like, is actually that crisis unfolding for real.
And that's from l'Indépendant. Is that Malian press?
Absolutely.
Okay, so the Malian press already weeks ago chronicling the souring relations between the Captain Sanogo and the Prime Minister, whom they have forcibly deposed this morning. To the U.S. now. You've got one state in the U.S., Colorado, where smoking, lighting up a marijuana cigarette is legal.
Well, that is Colorado. We also have another state, Washington State, which legalized last month. Of course, this is a hot topic, isn't it? Not just in the States, but around the world. There we can see there the Denver Post, which is reporting on the fact that it's legal in Colorado. Yes, but watch out, guys, because you cannot just light up anywhere with the Mary Jane, and you can't even put it in your brownies to give out to people, which maybe they do in colleges. Sometimes I'm not saying anything, Cyril, but maybe they do. And what's happened in Colorado already is that a couple of guys in the University of Colorado have fed pot-laden brownies to their professor and to fellow unwitting students. And what they got...
And that you're not allowed to do.
Well, you're not allowed to do it. They got caught out. 3 of the students went to hospital, and those 2 students who did that are now facing a felony charge and have been disciplined by the university. So the message there from the Denver Post, stop laughing, is that what you know.
What's the message?
This is a serious issue, and that, in fact, you can't just have, go around smoking the Mary Jane wherever you like. That's taken up in the Examiner.com, or the website there. It's saying that the examples of these kind of episodes already in Washington State have showed that, in fact, when advocates argue the benefits of legalizing marijuana, they're in a pipe dream scenario. That dream is busted. That's what they're saying.
Okay, a word of caution to our audience. Thank you. Now, the end is nigh, apparently. A lot of people have been talking about this. According to the Mayan calendar, we're all going to die on the 21st of December. The China Daily, on the other hand, which you've been reading, is not convinced. They're not afraid.
Well, you've been laughing about the marijuana in Colorado. What about this take from the China Daily, which has this piece about the Mayan calendar ending on the 21st of December, and it's saying, well, the end of the world has been postponed because what this is all about, the communist paper, the China Daily, really is saying this is the capitalist road here. What's happening? So we've got this great furore and interest and enthusiasm about this date, this deadline. Are we going to be obliterated from the planet? And what's happening, in fact, as far as the China Daily is concerned, is that this is just all about making money, isn't it? The films you see, and then survival kits. You know, it's just the commercial interests at play. So we have a nice little communist angle there on the end of the world.
Okay, so we'll still be here on the 21st and on the 22nd and 23rd for more press reviews. Thank you very much, Nicholas Rushworth. Now, a look at our top stories this hour. The Malian